So, good evening to you all. How is the weather and how is the day going? I must say, down here the weather is 40. Okay, so first let me apologize for starting so late due to unforeseen circumstances and uncontrollable situations. So, we apologize. Okay, so today we're having a very interesting topic, which is growing a startup business in recessed economy. We all know that our economy has never been really stable, and so today we'll be learning how to grow a startup business so that nobody gets to suffer whatever it is the economy is. Okay, so today we have on the show no other person but Mr. Oluwajare Fola Bolumole. Is actually a businessman, and he's going to be taking us through the topic of the day. We're going to take a short break as usual, and when we get back, we'll be unraveling the face of the guest in the house. Thank you. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the moment on Dynamic Smile TV. Okay, so I said today we're going to be talking about growing a startup business in a recessed economy. So if you want to go into any business, or you have friends that want to go into any business and they need advice or they need suggestions on how to go about it, this show is for you. Okay, good evening, sir.
Thank you very much.
How was your trip down here?
Oh, it was good. Thank you so much.
I hope the weather is not so disturbing.
No, not
Okay,
really.
like I like to say, it's weather for tea. But for the married, they can say it's weather for two. I can see that you have a ring, so I guess. Okay, so we really appreciate you for
Thank
coming.
you so
Thank
much.
you very
Thanks for
much
having me.
for wanting to share this, great knowledge with us. Thank you very much. Okay, so right before we go into the topic of the day, we want the viewers in the house to know you. We want to meet you. We want to get to know you better. So we want you to tell us about yourself. So what is your name? I don't know if I got it right.
You got it right. Oluwajare Fola Bolumole
Oh, okay.
is my name.
Okay.
Of course, I'm a man, and yeah, I am a businessman, if you put it that way.
Okay, so what sort of business?
Well, I primarily the strongest of all of the number of businesses I do is my chocolate production.
Oh, wow.
So I run a chocolate production business. We produce chocolates locally here, and we source our raw materials locally and do everything here.
Wow. So what's the name of the chocolate?
The Chalk Boy brand, Chalk
Boy.
Boy, yeah, that's the brand name. So the Chalk Boy brand is the name of the company.
Oh wow, that's great. Do we have some here?
Well, you should have told me to come for it.
Oh my god, that was a big mistake. I so much love chocolate.
Oh,
like
nice.
I love chocolate. People very close to me can get me with that.
Oh,
Yeah. So
should have come.
I hope that I get to take.
Of course you can after this.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so actually I've been thinking right from the time I got this topic, why did you choose to do business? Is it because of the economic situation of the country, or you just love doing business?
Well, I think the second answer is what is more of it for me. So
Okay.
really, I love doing business. I've always loved doing business through at least the more mature part of my life.
Okay.
I love doing business. Of course, I've also loved to learn other people's businesses and stuff. So it's more of a passion for me.
Okay.
And so I think I've really loved doing business. That is why it's not because there are no jobs out there.
Okay.
It's not because there's not the opportunity to travel out. It's not because I don't want to be under somebody. No, I've actually worked under people, but I love doing business, and for me, that's actually what got me doing business.
Okay. So when did you start and how did you start?
Okay, my business story is slightly different from my chocolate business story.
Okay.
I started doing business while I was in university,
Okay.
in my second year in university. Well, first year actually in 200 level, because I entered through direct entry. And then I started as a private lesson. I set up a private lesson business.
Oh, wow.
So I had quite a number of my colleagues
Okay.
that were in university that needed an extra source of income,
Okay.
and I put them on the platform, and we got families that needed private lesson tutors, and I connected them with. I myself was a private lesson tutor throughout my university years, from the 200 level till the point I finished. But at the point when I was going to serve, I stopped that as a business. But that was in 200 level. That's how I started. Then by 300 level, so I did that for 200 and 300. By 400 level, myself and a friend started a rental business. We were renting chairs and a projector out to fellowships and departments and what have you that needed them. We saved up some money. We got a bit of parental support, and we were able to run that also while I was in school. But those were like the two structured businesses that I had.
Okay.
The ones that weren't structured, that were like almost like side hustle,
Okay.
I can call side hustle. I was selling clothes, guys' shirts,
Okay.
trousers and stuff. I used to get from a particular lady,
Okay.
and I was selling that on campus. So that really is the most formal form of business direction I'd gone. Of course, I've done other things that were not exactly structured, sold this, sold that and stuff, but in terms of structure, that was where I started, all the way from 200, and I sustained all those businesses. The business I stopped after was, of course, I stopped the sales of shirts while I was leaving school. I also stopped the rental business. In fact, eventually myself and my business partner dashed it out to people.
Okay.
So that was really the beginning for me. By the time I got to 500 level was when it wasn't even in 500 level, it was towards the end of 400 level, was when the chocolate business started. It was just a simple idea. A friend of mine was traveling out, and I told her to help me to a friend of mine. I was in a friend of mine's room, and she told that friend Lamide to help her get chocolate when she's come back from the US. And I thought to myself, look, I can sell this stuff also. So I told her to buy $100 worth of chocolate for me. That was in 2010, thereabouts. 2010, thereabouts, where I started that. So Lamide came back with chocolate. I sold it in university for Valentine's. So she traveled in December, came back in January, sold it for Valentine's. So that was the beginning of the journey for me.
Business.
That was the beginning.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Business driven. Okay, you've been talking about campus and school all the while.
Yeah.
What school did you go and what course did you study?
Oh well, I went to University of Ibadan. I studied mechanical engineering, so I'm actually a graduate engineer.
Wow.
But of course, that didn't stop my entrepreneurial drive.
I'm sure you didn't actually get big all of a sudden. So what were the challenges? Was it easy going and majorly facing the chocolate business now?
Of course not. I don't think there's any, well, maybe I don't know, so don't let me conclude. But I doubt if there are many businesses that eventually are just big. I think things that would eventually last need a structure, need some form of foundation. So yes, I didn't start big, I started small. That was the beginning of the journey. I started as a salesperson for other brands. Then I got the opportunity to travel to go and learn how to produce.
Where?
In the US.
Wow.
So it was like a school. It was a proper school.
Wow.
I went to learn the art, and I came back to come and establish the production here in Nigeria. So I would say to a large extent, because I started as a salesperson, then I saw that I can't continue selling other products. Can't we do this thing locally? Then I became a YouTuber. I was finding out as much content on YouTube as I could find, and I was always researching. And then I was always preparing myself. My family members, my friends are my guinea pigs, so I'll do something today, test it with them. If they ended up in the hospital, I didn't really care. So, and they all eat it until, I always like to say, usually opportunity meets preparation. So until the opportunity to go and learn came up, I found it somewhere from searching on the internet that there was a school in the US, and I eventually, that opportunity came. That was my first time of even traveling out of the country. So it was a big deal for me to get a US visa straight up to go and do that program. But I was preparing myself, and that was really what I told them I was going to do when I was going to the interview point. At the interview point, there was nothing else. That was all I was about. So that's it. I believe a lot in opportunity meeting preparation. Of course, there have been hurdles on the way. Along the line, I left school, as in I finished from school. Not that I dropped out.
Yeah.
I finished from school, and of course I was already popular in the University of Ibadan then, selling chocolates and all. That was where the name Chalk Boy came. It was a friend of mine. I just called it randomly. Eventually did name search, registered the company and everything. Because as though God had reserved it for me. So eventually after leaving the university, I decided that look, I needed to be a bit more popular in Ibadan, where I'm domiciled, and we started this party. It's called Chalk Party now. We started with the chocolate cake and ice cream party. It's on for 7 years. Last year we had over 5,000 people in attendance. So it became a very big deal, from doing selling other people's brands to doing it myself, to making quite a number of mistakes, to eventually having my own production company.
Wow, that's fantastic. We're talking about a party that has happened, like it's been 7 years now. So does that mean that your business has been on for 7 years?
It's been on way well since 2012. That the certificate of registration is 2013, so I think this 2019.
Yeah. Okay, so has there never been a time that you just sit and you're like, let me just take my certificate and go look for a job? Maybe money is not coming in, or you feel I need to stop this, like it's not working for me. Was there ever a point in time?
Okay, so this is how I'll answer this question. There have been points where I felt broker than anybody in the world. But if you ask me honestly, have I felt like picking up my certificate to go look for a job? The honest answer is no. The reason being, there is a future in view for me, and that's what is the bigger picture. And but does that stop me from trying to make extra income? No, it doesn't also stop me. But in terms of going for a formal employment, that has really not been my thing. That's not been my thing. So really, honestly, I've not really felt that way. But I felt like quitting the whole business and maybe starting something else, definitely, because I learned IT from JS3 while I was in JS3. I learned how to design websites. In fact, I learned how to build applications. So I could easily just switch over to IT and feel comfortable there. But yes, I felt that way. Like switching, but
you conquered that.
No, I conquered that feeling.
And I guess it's because of what is driving you.
Yes. There's a bigger picture for me here, and the bigger picture really is Nigeria. And the picture is for us to, it's why it's this big is what we have cocoa currently, and what we do is we export it. We export some of the derivatives too, not in form of chocolate, but some of the derivatives. We export it, and we import things like stuff done with cocoa butter for creams, stuff done with the cocoa for in terms of chocolate. So my vision is to change the whole process and turn us into a manufacturing state that exports the finished products. Because in all honesty, Importing the finished product is way more expensive than us manufacturing it locally. There's a big challenge of cost that we face. Myself as a business, I face the major challenge being power. And for example, like a typical production will take a stretch of 48 hours uninterrupted power supply when I'm producing. So you can imagine how much that is in terms of diesel, in terms of petrol, in terms of NEPA bill, even if it's available. So that's really the big picture, to change that whole narrative and put Nigeria on the map as producers of chocolate since we have the cocoa.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, so can you tell us a bit about your family?
Oh, well, I'm from a nuclear family. I also have now family now, which is of course nuclear also. When I started the whole thing, I'm the only boy from a family of 4. I have 3 other sisters. Now I'm married with a daughter. She's 1 year 7 months, by the way.
So
yeah, and she's my biggest consumer of the chocolates now.
I was about to ask that, and she hits it like.
And I always make sure I restrict her from it.
Wow, that's so
she can't
nice.
continue having only that. So yes, that's it basically about me.
Maybe you can adopt me, so I become your daughter, so I can also eat.
The problem is you are going to become my big sister, and I'm not very sure she wants that kind of competition.
Really? Wow. Oh, we won't tell her now, so that way I can just be getting those chocolates. Okay, that was on a light mode. So what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun?
Your hobbies.
Well, music. I listen to music a lot. As in, I can't go a day without listening to music. I will faint. I'll literally pass out.
What kind of music?
Any type, on a sincere note, as long as I like it. I am not really restricted to, well, majorly I'm gospel, but I'm not restricted only to gospel. I explore other forms of music. In fact, talking about that, I remember now that, from the point of entry, I started, because of my IT interest, I started producing music, but I dropped that while I was leaving school. I produced quite a number of beats and all for upcoming acts in the university. So I really love music. So I listen to music on my pastime.
Okay. Do you sing?
No, I don't sing. I just listen. I used to play drums in my former life.
You actually look like a drummer. You're always very huge, with so much hair and glasses, and
I used to play drums. I mean, in my former life, drums when I was even before my teenage years, but I've dropped that long time.
That's fantastic. So that's a whole lot to learn and to know about our guest today. I'm sure you're already enjoying this moment. Okay, so we want to go on a short break, and when we get back, we'll be going straight into growing a startup business in this recess economy. So if you have not invited your friends yet, please do so, because this is the point where we have to learn. So we'll be right back. Don't go away. Back to the moment on Dynamic Smile TV with your favorite girl, Christiana. Okay, so now we're going straight to the point, which is how to grow a startup business in a recess economy. So first, let me ask, what is business exactly?
For me, I'm not Wikipedia, neither am I Google, but my definition of business is the ability to exchange value for money. So you give out value and you get money in return. So for me, that's exactly what business is.
Okay. So how do we go about growing a business?
Okay. Well, I think the first step in growing any business is knowing about that business.
Okay.
And I must also let you know that you can really never know about a business 100% until you get into it. So there is really no wand I can just swing and all of a sudden I'll teach you everything about business. No matter how much of a business school you go to, it's different from the real life. It's a bit slightly different from the real life application of it. So you will just employ the skills and tools that you learned in the school. So growing a business or starting out as a business, first of all, requires that you know what it is. You know what exactly is the value in the business. Every business has its value. That's why they always say, what is your USP, unique selling point, and or unique selling proposition. What exactly is unique? What is the value that you're willing to exchange to get money? So you're giving somebody some form of value, and the person is giving you money for giving that person value. So you know that basically. So that's the step one. Secondly, I think the second step is know the market. So once you have established value, you have to establish the market. Where exactly is that business going to be? Where is it going to be exchanged? So that's what they talk about market segmentation and all of that. Where are people that want that value, or where are they? Where do you find them? How do you find them? So that's the second step, knowing the market for the exchange of the value. Then the third, of course, is knowing the customer. So know the business, know the market, know the customer. Now, knowing the customer doesn't mean having a personal relationship with them. It's really a demographic thing, understanding their likes, their dislikes, what makes them buy, what makes them return things, what makes them want to pay more, what makes them want to pay less. So I think those are the three things that are very important in starting out as a business. You know the business, know the market, and know the customer.
Wow. Did you get something there? Okay, I got that. Before you can start a business, you need to actually go learn about that business. You have to have full knowledge of what that business is. Like you said, when you were actually planning to start up your chocolate business, you had to go learn.
Yes, I had to learn.
In a formal setting.
Yes,
well, you traveled all the way.
Yeah, is it always in a formal setting? Not exactly.
Okay.
I must be honest, it's not always in a formal setting. As the world has improved now, all your learning can be on YouTube.
Wow.
All your learning can be on Google. But the difference is this: when I have you as my trainer, what I will learn from you, apart from what I will get from Google, are your experiences, your knowledge. I always say it's better to stand on someone else's shoulder, because you're likely to look further than the person that's against trying to stand from the ground. So that's where some form of formal knowledge comes in, some form of how will I put it, mentorship, some form of exchange. So I would only learn as much as I can learn broadcasting, for example, from YouTube and see people do it. I will learn that, but learning from you would give me so much more. So you will tell me a lot of your experiences that you have gained and how you have been able to circumvent some situations that has come your way. So I think.
Okay, that's fantastic. So it doesn't have to be formal, but it is necessary that you at least learn and get knowledge of whatever it is you want to go into. Okay, so what does it take to start a business, and what does it take to make it grow? How do I mean? Like, at what point can I say, okay, let's take for instance, I picked interest in something already. Maybe I want to start making pampers for babies. Okay, and at what point can I really come out to say, I want to start this business, and at what point can I say it has grown? Or how do I make it?
So the point where you can start a business is when you have been able to package the value for exchange.
Okay.
So whatever it is that you want to do or you want to sell, it must have gotten to packaging stage, either a service or a product. You must package it. So once it is once the value is packageable, let me use that word, you can start business. So you have been able to conceptualize everything. You have learned to a large extent what it entails. You have surveyed the market, you have surveyed the customers, and you have packaged the product or the service. Once you have been able to do that, then you can start business. If your business or your idea has not reached a packageable form, it cannot start as a business. The second on how to grow it is, after you have been able to package it, you must be the simple, straightforward answer is improve that packaging. So growth requires that it was packaged with we started packaging. Okay, let me give my own example. So when we started packaging with baskets of so we got these straw baskets from the market, and we are putting imported chocolates inside. Wrap it all up in some form of foil wrap, and give it as gift as Valentine's and stuff. Then that was so it was packageable. The next thing is we're like, oh, okay, people love the basket idea, but we found quite a number of challenges with it, and we moved up into boxing. So we started doing boxes. Even at that time, there were the box. What I'm talking about was still imported product. I had not even gotten the opportunity to fully learn how to produce myself. So we started packaging it inside boxes. The boxes were better. It was handmade. They were individually customized and all like that. The boxes were customized. So we moved to that. Then I got the opportunity to learn. Then after learning, we started packaging in handmade products then we moved up to packaging as machine-made packaging. Right now, our biggest selling point is the fact that we sell customized products. So we are not that's the part of understanding the market. I'm in a market that is to a large extent saturated by the very big boys, the companies that have been over 100 years old in the business. So I am in a business where I have to find my own unique point. So what we do now is we package, and so you get a gift that looks all chocolate that is all customized for you with your name, your picture on it and everything. So it gives you that wow experience when you receive it. So we are selling our chocolate in the gift market. So we produce chocolate, but we are going the route of the gift market. So that's so to grow a business requires that you upscale your packaging. Upscale your packaging will mean presenting your value in a better form.
Wow, and also finding that unique
uniqueness,
unique selling point, like you said. Okay, because I feel there's a whole lot of competition.
Yes.
So many people are doing what everybody is doing. So there is a need for you to find that unique
selling point.
Okay. So how do I get the right customers now that I've grown my business?
Okay. To get the right customers, it's a bit of a trick because we are all fighting for the same people. But the good thing about the way it's all designed is everybody has their specific interests. And as much as it is unique, they fall under some umbrellas. So you start looking, okay, let me give my own case study. So we are going in the gift market. So we are looking for people that like to celebrate other people. We're looking for people that are in love. We are looking for people that are in some form of relationship. So those are the kind of people that we are targeting, and we keep packaging and presenting to them what will look like something that the other partner would appreciate. So I keep saying, for example, 90% of my customers don't even consume my product. They buy it and give it to somebody else because I know that I've gone the route of the gift market. So we identify those kind of people, and with the age of social media has made demographic targeting easy. It has made it quite easy. It's no more the days where you have to go to a radio station to go and do adverts to possibly everybody, out of which they are market women, and you are trying to sell corporate wears, and you are not going to sell corporate wears to market women. You can specifically target. Then of course, the next step, if you are not going the route of social media, you need to know exactly where your customers are. Where are the kind of customers I'm looking for? Are they in the marketplace? Are they in the offices? Are they in the shops? Where exactly are they? Are they in schools? And things like that. So you try and target them. I give an example. It's charity, but it's a psychological charity to a large extent. So we do some form of charity that we do towards kids with our chocolate. But it is business too, to a large extent, because they are the future, they are the tomorrow. By the time they get hooked on our chocolate at a young age, they are hooked on it forever. So I know that those are the future. The truth is that some of them cannot afford it now. It's the parents that can buy it for them. So irrespective, we start catching them young and they grow up with it. There is a particular product almost all of us consume here in Nigeria, and they caught us when we were young. So that's, your specific market, and you try as much as possible to drive traffic in that direction.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, so another question is, can a business actually grow or function so well without the presence of the CEO of that business?
So this is my own definition of business growth. So I think of a business starting first as like a one-man business, growing into a company, going into a corporation, and eventually becoming an institution. When it's starting as a business, as a one-man business, the CEO or the founder is in full and total control. Every idea, every final decision comes from him. When he moves to the level of a company, he has other people that have some form of stake and some form of control. When it gets to that stage as a company, it doesn't entirely need to be there, meaning that most likely it can take vacations and the company will work to a large extent, but its presence and final decision still holds sway. By the time it moves to a corporation, they really don't need them. They really don't need the CEO. They really don't need the CEO. There are pinpoint people that are taking decisions. We know companies now that all we see about the CEO is either making a book launch somewhere, giving out money somewhere. It's as if it's not even functioning at all in this company. I'm wondering, what time do you even have for your company? When it gets to the level of a corporation, the CEO doesn't have to be there. By the time it gets to become an institution, the CEO and all his family members can as well be dead. It will be running. That's why they call universities, places like universities, polytechnic, and institution. Nobody cares who started it. Those things are running without the presence of whoever the business person is. But at the beginning of a business, don't be deceived and don't lie to yourself that you have set up system that will work, everything will just work fine. As long as you know you are still running a business, my friend, your presence is much needed, because that is, you are the one going to form the company culture. You are going to set out the direction the company is going to go. So it's at that stage you are totally functional in the business, doing almost everything. I keep saying that my own word for my own acronym for CEO is the Chief Errand Officer. You are the one running almost all the errands. You are the one. You just wear that CEO title because somebody else that is bigger really has it, and you also have your own small company. But you are the errand boy. You are doing almost everything because it's still at that phase.
Okay, so you were talking about from one-man business to the company, cooperative, and institution. Can you quickly do a brief differentiation between the cooperative and the institution?
Okay, so the corporation.
It's corporation, not cooperative.
Yeah.
Okay.
The corporation, like I said, the corporation is like almost a conglomerate. You have many businesses, or let me say many departments, depending, many businesses or many departments. And I can boldly say many businesses under it. For example, if you are running an IT company, say Apple, for example, Apple has many products. It's not just phones. With an Apple phone, there are many softwares, products that run on that function, that used to support the phone. Each of those products, each of those departments have heads. That is what a corporation is about. Every department, every unit, major unit, serving as an individual product or service provider has a head. But when you have an institution is way bigger, because now you are running so many services across border, across continents. You have branches everywhere, many places in the world, still represented under that brand, still represented under that company. But it is every company, let me use the word company. Every company has their own CEO. You are like the eventual CEO. I'm looking for the word now.
Like the overseer.
Yeah, the overseer of the whole thing.
The CEO of the CEOs.
Exactly, like the CEO of the CEOs. So, and even at that level, you most likely at the institution level, you have even stepped out as being a CEO. All you are doing is collecting your money because somebody else is doing the job for you. So you get, for example, Microsoft now, Bill Gates is no more running day-to-day activities. That company is functioning.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, one last question. I think for those who, I believe that not everybody is actually business driven.
True.
Most persons are career people, like they just want to be on that suit and tie, Is there a problem with people like that?
Absolutely not. As much as some motivational speakers that are unguided, I say bold. I make bold to say that. I'm very bold to say that. Say that everybody is supposed to be a business owner, blah blah blah. The truth is this: we are all not cut out from the same fabric.
Thank you.
We are all unique. Some of us would rather work in organizations. Some of us will work. And the truth is this: if everybody is a CEO, who is going to work for who? There will be nobody to work. So it's not everybody that is cut out for business. And that's just the blunt truth. The fact that you are doing it doesn't mean you are actually cut out for it. You might be a better manager than a business owner. So for example, you might have started a business and you find out that your job really is you are not very good at seeing the future, creating pictures. You have somebody that is within the team that is better at that, but the management's day-to-day activity, you are just fantastic with it. You quite alright started the business, but so when it gets to a stage, you can step out from being the visionary. After you've got, of course, painted the eventual picture, there are some people that are better in taking the step-by-step process to get into that vision. You might just be better in managing whatever you get. You are not good at growing it, but you are better in managing. The work of the CEO is to grow it from that level to another. But you might have started. That's when you discover that, come man, I wasn't really cut out for being that full-scale CEO. So we are not all cut out for the same thing. We have specific functions and we can function uniquely as. So you might be a better career person. Many people are. I know I am not. If I'm not heading my company or heading a company, in fact, I can be CEO of another company. It does almost suit and tie, but I must be running a business. I mean, I must be actively running. That's when I will not die. If not, I will just die.
God do not let you die. Okay, so earlier you gave us the definition of what a business is. You were like, it's of course it's relative. People will have different definitions. But from your definition, you said it's like giving a value in exchange for money.
Yes.
So I can as well say that anybody doing something that has to do with career and suit and tie are actually doing business.
Yes,
because there's something they are giving out and they are getting their money in
yes,
return.
it is. Everybody is doing business one way or the other. Whether you are in career, you are supporting a business, even government parastatals is a form of business. Business, let me also say this, business at the end of the day is supposed to exchange value for money, but there are systems within the business that exchange value, don't get money in return, get value that is reprocessed to money.
I get it. Okay, so this actually brings us to the end of the show.
Wow,
I hope
nice.
you all have enjoyed yourself and learned something, and I hope that you would have a rethink for those who are discouraged already. You're going into a business where you're discouraged. You see, there is nothing that gets better without challenges, I believe. So just keep doing it if you know you're actually cut out for it. Okay, so before we go, I want to play a short game. Which should we do first? Okay, let's do the spelling game first. So as the businessman that you are, you're familiar with the word business. So can you spell business for us, but backwards?
Why?
Why backwards? That's the game. Games are not meant to be easy.
Oh my
If I say
goodness.
spell it normally now, I'm sure it will take you 2 seconds because you're used to the word. But backwards.
Okay, so let me give it a shot. I might not get it right.
Okay.
SSENIUB.
You actually tried, but you missed the S. SSENI. You said UB instead of SUB. Like boss sub. Oh, that's, and you actually tried. Okay, one last one. Chocolate.
Why?
I don't even have chocolate there. I'm gonna have
You
to
don't
write
need.
it down
No.
so that.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
So it is ETALOCOHC.
ETALOCOHC. Fantastic.
That's what I do.
Please let me try it. Tell me to spell chocolate.
No, how will I give you
Backwards.
something? No, how will I give you something I just
It's
tried?
not easy. You think it has stuck
No,
to my
let's
head.
try this.
Okay, which one?
Spell moment backward.
Moment. Oh, that's easy. TENM.
Moment.
Yeah, moment. Yes, backwards.
Moment.
Moment. TNE.
Moment.
Ah,
Moment.
why are you confusing me? Let me
It
spell.
has an S at the end and you are starting with a
Oh,
T.
moment. Okay, I thought you said not. Oh, okay. ST.
You see, you are
Oh
even
my
stuck.
God. STNE. Oh Jesus, this is freaking hard. How did you spell the chocolate?
Well.
Wow. I'm not actually really good with
Reverse spelling.
yeah, it's quite actually very difficult. But I can if I try harder. I'm just not willing to try harder. Okay, let's do one more game.
Okay.
This is name.
Okay.
The kind of normal name. So
Okay.
let's do name of universities. I go first, you go then, like that. Okay. Name. Name of universities. UI.
Unibend.
OAU.
Uniport.
S-School.
What's S school?
S-School.
What's S school?
S-School. Is there no school named S-School?
What's S school?
Like
I want this
Ekiti
one.
State.
I want.
Exu.
You see?
Exu.
You see? You missed
Oh
it.
my God. Okay.
I want this round.
Let's try another one. Do you see movies?
Ah well, I'm not a
Nigerian
fan.
movies.
Oh no, please don't give me that.
Okay, you saw Game of Thrones.
No, I didn't. I'm not a
I
fan.
could have asked you the names of
Try.
the characters.
Good, fine.
What other kind of name can we?
Let's just say I won this round.
Oh no. There has to be one more. Exu Esco. It was a mistake. It was
Let's
a
just
mistake.
say I won this round. Give it up. Give it up.
Names of songs.
You know they are. Okay, let's give it a shot.
They are different names. So, but we'll know if one person is lying because some names are ridiculous.
How can you know?
Do
you know the library of? Do you have all the library of songs I have?
I have discerning spirit.
Do you know the library of all the songs I have?
Okay, let's start. Let's start. Let's start.
How many have you thought of already? Because I'm not even thinking. I'm not even thinking.
Okay, let's do music artists.
Okay, let's try that.
Okay, so is it gospel? No, let's make it
anyone.
kind. Okay. Are you ready?
Let's go.
I'm going first. 1, 2, ready, go. Mercy Chinwo.
Simi.
Tope Alabi.
Adekunle Gold.
Wizkid.
The Band.
Yemi Alade.
Don Jazzy.
Tiwa Savage.
Don Mwe. I won again.
Jeez, I don't know why. I know so many. I don't know why. And the names that were coming, man, I don't even listen to their songs. And those names just keep coming. Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, let's do some of like music, like songs.
You really want to try me with these songs?
Yes. I'm willing to. Yes and amen.
Skentele Skontolo. Skentele by Lagbaja.
Oh, okay. And Gele Skeskele.
What's Gele Skeskele?
By Lagbaja.
There's nothing like Gele Skeskele. That's the song.
Is that not the title of the song?
Skentele Skontolo.
I can't believe. So all these games now I missed out.
Well, I won.
Wow, I was thinking I would get a chocolate for winning.
I'm sorry. Well, we can give consolatory prize.
Wow. Okay, so I actually had fun. Yeah, I'm sure you did too.
I also did.
And I'm going to work more on my game skills because I always, most times, don't win games. I don't know. But when you bring me to table tennis, I can actually win that. Do you play outdoor games?
Yeah, I do. I do some outdoor.
Table tennis is actually very interesting.
So get ready.
You can play table tennis.
I remember I should know how to play.
I have 2 medals for it.
Please just hold your
we can actually try it
there's
out.
No point competing with a pro.
We can try it out. We can't say you might beat me. Let's try it out. Okay, so thank you all for watching the moment today on Dynamics Now TV. If you've missed previous editions together, just go to our page Dynamics Now TV on Facebook. You can watch previous editions there. And if you are a lover of YouTube, you can as well click on our link that is also on our Facebook page to check for previous editions, previous and fantastic editions that you have missed. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show, and we'll meet again next week, same time, same station, with another fantastic guest and interesting topic. Next week, don't let me say it now, but next week you all need to watch. If you watched Depression the previous week, like I guess that's 2-3 weeks ago, if you didn't miss Depression, then you are definitely not going to miss this one. You shouldn't miss this one because it's going to be another interesting one with my co-presenter who likes food so much. Okay, so thank you all for joining us today. Till we meet again, stay blessed. Bye.